Hello, my crafty friends. Welcome to my Saturday Facebook Live. This was supposed to be yesterday's Facebook Live, but my power unexpectedly went out, and we are going to be doing some heat embossing today, which you need power for, so I had to reschedule it today. If you're new, I normally go live Fridays at noon right here on this page. I'm also going to be sharing this to my VIP group, Sassy Paper Crafters. So if you want to join that group, I go live there Sundays at 11. And the link is in the description of this video. So I'm going to go ahead and share this to my group and find us and all that good stuff. And while everybody's popping on, I have a few things to talk about. So it is September somehow. I don't know how it's September. It was just June a minute ago. So I have some ordering specials for the month of September. So with a $50 order, you get the Nature's Harvest Suite tutorials, and there are 4 tutorials in there. And then a $100 $100 order gets you the tutorials plus the brushed metallic adhesive back dots, gems, dots. I just looked. We're using those today. So, and that's also in addition to the celebration items that you get. Sorry, my tablet's again being slow. I think I might need a new tablet. Share to the group. Everybody can see me. And then we'll get started on our card. And celebration, like I mentioned, is still going on until September 30th. So with a $50 order, you get to pick from level 1 items, and a $100 order gets you level 2 items. And if you need a celebration brochure, I still have some available. So go ahead and send me a message. I will be doing mail on Tuesday this week because Monday is a holiday here. And I'm going to begin using some of my celebration products for the long weekend, making some fun stuff for you guys for this coming week. Hi, Tara. So I'm going to turn off my camera and we're going to get a good view of my desk, and then we can get started on making our project. Let me just get it in there and then switch my camera around. Hold on. They changed settings on me. I want that one. And then I hit the wrong button, guys. Sorry. I don't know if I'm still live. Let me know by leaving a comment. I don't know what happened. That was really weird. It says I'm still live. So let's get started on our card. That was really weird and kind of threw me off. So let's just move on. And our card today is this one. And it uses the Pretty Pumpkins bundle that I've been using all week. So the cling stamp set. Oh, Tara says I'm here. Okay, good. And the detailed pumpkins dies. And this card has a lot going on to it. So this would be more of a casual crafter avid card. And yes, it is very shiny. So I'm going to show you all the elements that we use to make this card and exactly how to put it together. So the first thing you'll notice here is that pretty copper paper in the back. That comes from the Simply Elegant specialty paper in the annual catalog. And I only have this little bit to show you, these little bits, because I used it. And that's what that one looks like. And it comes with all these, this is gold in it. It's very shiny, very pretty. Some more gold. And the back is just regular printed paper. And this is silver and gold. That would make a pretty Christmas card, I think. And this is copper, gold, and silver. This is all 3 of the metals in there. And then more gold. So this is the Simply Elegant specialty paper, like I said, in the annual catalog. And then I'm going to be using a brand new embossing folder that is called Time Worn Type 3D embossing folder. So if you have the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, this makes the basic white paper there. And I already embossed this. And I'm going to show you how I got that cool texture on it. So let's get started. I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way. And we're going to first start with our card base, which is a basic black card base cut at 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4.25. And then, like I said, I used some basic white, and I've already embossed the Time Worn Type 3D embossing folder onto this cardstock. And that's what it looks like when it comes out. But I want to give it a little more depth and make it look a little more old-timey. So I'm going to take some Smoky Slate ink and a blending brush. You can see I have a little stain there on it. It's fine. And I'm just going to tap that into my ink. And I'm going to start on my grid paper. Just because it kind of blobs at first. And I'm just going to start and kind of go in. And this gives it more of an old paper look, so it doesn't look so shiny and new. And I'm not doing too much, just enough to get a little bit of that color on there and make it not so nice and white. I feel like I'm wiping too much of the ink off, so, and in the middle here, we're covering that up. So I'm just gonna go start in the middle and work my way out since we're covering the middle part up anyways, so a big blob of ink really isn't gonna matter there. Right, that looks good. And then just to clean your blending brushes, quick tip, just a drop of dish soap. And then I take my finger and run it along the bristles with some lukewarm water and set it in my dish strainer to dry. Cleans them every time. That one I just didn't do very good. So next I have a piece of basic gray that measures 3 by 4.5, and then a piece of that Simply Elegant Designer Series paper. And this is 2 3/4 this way by 4 1/4 this way. And we're just going to adhere that to our basic gray with some Stampin' Seal. I can get it going. It's not one thing, it's another. And then before I put this down on the embossed piece, I'm going to get a little piece of the 1.5 inch metallic mesh ribbon. And I'm just going to fold that in half and kind of look. Oops. And cut a little bit off. And this is silver, but I don't know, I like the kind, there's silver in the leaves, so I just like how it looked with this paper. So I'm just going to fold that in half and then get my Scotch tape in 2 pieces. Fold it in half again because it keeps coming undone. And then just put one on the end. And that it's not quite centered, just a little smidge down from the center of the card. And then tape the other piece to the back. And then before we put everything down, let's do our pumpkin. So the pumpkin is really cool. There is a die in this die set that cuts it out. I love that one too. That's what the one I did on my card that I posted on Wednesday. We're going to need that die. And then this pumpkin. Let me get him out. Oh, this cling sometimes is so strong, my stamps stick right to the case. There. Him out. And a D block. And then I'm going to need my Versamark and my embossing buddy. And like I said before, I've said it before, but if you don't have an embossing buddy, This is just like a powder in here. And what it does is it takes the static off of the cardstock. So when you use embossing powder, it doesn't stick all over. It just sticks onto the where you've stamped the Versamark. So you could use a used dryer sheet. I've heard of people taking like an old nylon or sock and putting cornstarch in it. Just anything that would get rid of the static on your paper. And they also sell the embossing bodies. I've seen them on Amazon. So I'm just inking up the pumpkin with a little bit of Versamark. For bigger stamps, I just find it easier to ink it up this way rather than putting the stamp in. That way I just know I'm getting even coverage. I'm going to stamp onto my paper, and I know it's probably, you can't see that, but it's there. Versamark is a watermark stamp. See if I can catch the light. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but you'll definitely see it once I put embossing powder on. And I'm going to be using the copper embossing powder. This now comes in a 3-pack. This is really old. That's their old logo and everything. But it comes in a 3-pack with gold and silver. So I'm going to be using the copper one. And just looking at this, I don't know that. I think we might have to stamp again. Because I don't know that I got so well in the middle. Let's see. Oh, no, it's okay. Just didn't look okay. So I'm just putting a little bit on here, and then I'm going to tap off the excess. Set that aside. And then pour the rest back into the jar. And this is just a piece of printer paper that I folded in half that I use. I've seen people use trays and things like that. And this stuff literally lasts forever. I've had this so long, and the jar is nearly full. It's like a quarter gone, maybe. And then we're going to be getting our heat tool. So if your sound is way up, I recommend muting or turning it down. Isn't that so cool? And now it's all shiny and coppery. So before I put my Versamark and everything away, I'm going to get a scrap of basic black. I have way too much going on here. And the So Thankful for You sentiment. Wendy says she loves the copper. I like all the metals. I like our gold and silver. I like the gold, I think, probably better than other golds I've seen because it's not so yellow. It's actually more of like a true gold color. I've seen them at craft stores where they're very, very yellow. And I love our silvers. That silver foil that's in the new mini catalog is beautiful. So I'm just going to ink this up in a little bit of Versamark. About there. Move some things out of my way. I normally clean my stamps while I'm talking to you guys, but I just put all my things on top of my Stampin' Scrub, so that's not happening. I'm going to get my copper out again. Set that aside. And it's still just as full as it was 2 seconds ago. This stuff lasts. So if you buy the 3-pack, you guys, I swear you're going to have it for years. Unless you literally heat emboss on every single project, you'll have the stuff forever. So cool. So now we are done with our heat embossing. We're going to get out the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm going to move some things out of the way so I have room to work. And then I'm going to put down my platform, my pad number 2, and a cutting pad. And then we're going to die cut the pumpkin first. And I think I want to use a little bit of washi tape just because the heat embossing can sometimes warp your paper. My paper here is a little bit warped, so I don't want that die to move around and cut sideways or anything. So just to be on the safe side, I'm going to use a little piece of washi tape. You could also use a Post-it note. I don't really recommend Scotch tape as it's just too sticky, and it might rip your paper. I'm just going to place that there. And then put a cutting pad on top and run that through. Slide that back through, and I'm going to get out the Stitch So Sweetly guys. And these are all labels, like I like to call them, and they are for, I think you can use them for just about anything. I like using them for sentiments. I'm going to use this guy here, and it's the third one from the inside. So 1, 2, and then 3. And that's what we're going to use to cut out our sentiment. And this one, I'm not as worried about. My paper is a little bit warped, but I think it'll be okay. And then just run that through. And then we are done with the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and we are ready to put our card together. So like I said, this card I would say is a little bit more of the casual crafter, avid crafter type, just because there's so much going on. We got heat embossing and die cutting and dry embossing, and I'm kind of through the kitchen sink at this one, but I really like how it turned out. And these techniques and things, once you get them down, they are actually very simple and easy to do. So there's our pumpkin. Get my die off of here and throw this scrap paper away. Bring back in the rest of my elements. So our card base and our embossed piece, I'm just going to take a little bit of seal and run it along the back of our basic gray. And like I said, we're covering up that big blob of smoky slate. And then some dimensionals on the back of our pumpkin. And I go with 4. Put him down in the corner a little. And then some dimensionals for the back of our sentiment. I think 3 should do it. I got a little bit of paper, not, I don't know, they're not really scrap, they're just little paper dust pieces that sometimes get stuck in the plates of the cut and emboss machine. And then we need some seal for the back, put on our card base. And then a piece of basic white that is 5 1/4 by 4 for the inside, since this is black cardstock. Unless you have a white pen, it's really hard to write on black cardstock. And wait, we're not done yet, because I'm going to add a couple of the Brush Metallic adhesive back dots. And these come in gold, copper, and silver. And there's 2 sizes of each color. And I'm going to add a large one and a small one. There's a cat ear stuck to it, because of course there is. And right there at the top. And that is our card. So I thank you all so much for watching. And again, I will be live tomorrow in my VIP group. If you would like to join my VIP group, please click the link in the description of this video. And I will hopefully see everybody next Friday at noon. Have a great long weekend, everybody.